Hello beautiful people, I hope you're all having a good day today. Hopefully I can make it a little bit better with a really awesome Christmas cake. Alright, are you guys ready for this one? Golden fruit cake. Alright, this is the first one I picked to make. Now there is a ton of ingredients in it, so I will write down in the description below the recipe for you to make it a lot easier. So instead of going through everything, we're just going to make it and you'll be able to see as I put it all in, and then you can just look down below and do it. It's just the easiest way to do this. Alright, so the first thing we do is we get out 250 grams of butter and we chop it up into a bowl, and we want to set it aside because we really need it at room temperature. It can't be cold. So do that first. So the first thing we're going to stick in the bowl is all the stuff we don't have to chop. So we need 1.5 cups of sultanas. So the next thing we're going to need is half a cup of mixed peel, okay, which works out to 125 grams. But I don't like mixed peel, I never have. So I'm going to substitute my mixed peel, it sounds funny, for cranberries, dried cranberries, okay? But it's up to you. So if you don't like mixed peel either, peel, God, that's horrible to say 3 times over. Yeah, put dried cranberries in. Oh, yeah, baby. Need half a cup of slivered almonds. Now we're going to do the things that we have to chop up and chuck in there. So the first thing is we need 2/3 of a cup of glazed cherries. Now, if I can get this bloody thing open. We need to cut them in quarters. So you want to cut every cherry in 4, right? So we get 3/4 a cup, which works out to, I think it was 125 grams, okay? How yummy that is. Look at that inside of that pineapple. Oh, I love stuff like this. It's awesome. So roughly 2 of these is going to be half a cup. Now our gorgeous pineapple is chopped up. Half cup measurement out again. And now we want to chop up Turkish dried apricots I love using. So I'm going to be chopping up these ones. Now, when I'm chopping everything up, I'm roughly keeping it the same size as a sultana. I really love everything at, you know, like the same size. Once our gorgeous apricots are done, the next thing we're going to need is, if you've got it, you're going to use your glace ginger, or if you like me, you're going to use your crystalized ginger. And we need to cut up half a cup. Okay, so I'm not very big on the ginger, but that's why I like using the crystalized ginger too. It's a little bit different flavour, but it absolutely works in this cake. So with my ginger, I just cut it paper thin. Alright, so that is, I mean, have a look at that, all those fruits that are in there. Okay, it's cheaper to buy one from the store, but you're not going to tell me that the store has got all those fruits in it. Alright, we're going to put glad wrap over that and set it aside for a minute. Now, if you've got large eggs, you want to get out 4. And if you've got small eggs like me, you want to get out 5. And we want to leave them just sitting there because they need to warm up to room temperature as well. So I'm going to wrap this and set it aside for a minute. And I'm going to make a cuppa. Alright, now we want to get a small bowl and we want to sift 1.5 cups of plain flour into it and set it aside. Now we need 1 teaspoon of lemon rind, so we get ourselves a little grater and we want to grate just the yellow, we don't want to get into the white. Alright, now we need to get our cake tin ready. Now, because we're using a lot of ingredients and it's not cheap to make, we want to make sure we do this properly so it works out, alright? So the first thing we do is we get a 20 centimetre drop bottom tin. Now what we have to do is I need to line the bottom, so I'm going to cut out with baking paper. I'm just going to put it on like that, draw around it and then cut it out a bit smaller than that, and I'm going to sit 3 pieces in the middle, okay, layers of 3. But you're going to have to excuse the flies, they're giving me the shits. I've been trying to kill them all day before I started this and they just won't bugger off. Alright, so the next thing we want to do, like I said, you don't have to do it perfect, so we've got 3 in there now, okay? So this is to protect our cake, because when we're cooking fruit cakes, we cook them really low for a very long time. So we've got to get these layers in to protect the cake from the heat while we're cooking. Alright, so now we've got 3 of those in. The next thing we want to do, we want to pull a piece out, basically, and see how long we need it. Just sort of get real professional in it. Just go around here, I need a bit more. Until you get, I want to overlap it a bit. Alright, so when I get a piece long enough that I will be able to get around there, beautiful, I'm going to fold it like a saw. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so I reckon that's a little bit too tall. You basically want to do it, make sure you can see, the same width, really, extra height as that. So that's just a little bit too high because I don't want it to burn. I've got an electric oven, which means the elements are at the top and the bottom. So I'm just going to fold a little bit more again. Alright, finally we get to put this bad boy together. Yeah, baby. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is grab our butter. We want to grab out 1 cup of caster sugar. Now as we're putting the caster sugar in there, if you see any lumps coming up, just squash it all down as you put it in, alright? We don't want any lumps. Now if we make sure we have our butter and our eggs at room temperature, and we do it all exactly the way I'm doing it, it should never ever fail. Okay, now the next thing we've got to do is get our electric beater out. Now the first thing we want to do is beat our butter and sugar in together. We want it to beat it in so it's all in perfect and it's starting to go a little bit fluffy. Now unlike all other times, we don't want to keep beating it until it goes a pale colour, alright? So we really only want to do it until it's just mixed in together and then starts to go a little bit fluffy. So you don't beat it forever. And done. Now, sorry I had to do that, but I really had to show you just how to do it. Okay, now this next step of putting the eggs in, this is what will make your cake moist or crumbly, okay, the way you do this. So what we want to do is we want to crack 1 egg at a time, and we want to beat it just until the egg has gone into the mixture properly. We want to stop and then we want to put our next egg in. Now we want to do the putting the eggs in as quick as we can, alright? From 1 to 4 or 1 to 5. So make sure it's mixed in properly first, then quickly grab your next one. Don't just walk around and, you know, talk on the phone or whatever, like do all the eggs, boom, 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 boom. Okay, mixed in. Next one. Alright, so first of all we get our fruit now. Our fruit bowl. And with a fork, we just want to mix our fruits in first together. I like using a fork because we have to separate all the fruit when we put this mix in and make sure none of it's clumped up together. Sometimes you actually have to get in and do it with your hand, but we'll see how we go. So really sort of mix it all up first. Review. Alright, now I want to just scrape this down. Alright, and now we want to mix it all through. I just thought of something that's going to blow. Alright, I was supposed to add the lemon rind when I was beating the butter and sugar up together. So when you guys do it, make sure you add it then. I'm just going to have to do it now and mix it all in. Now we want to add our sifted flour. Just do it 1/3 at a time. Oh my god, mate, that has killed my arm. Oh, wow. Far out. Oh, that's so heavy. Alright, now that we've done that, we want to get our tin, and I'm just going to get a big spoon. Not even going to try and tip it all in there. I'm just going to get a big dessert spoon and I'm just going to put it in this way. It's going to be easier. Oops, try and keep that bottom straight. Once you do that, just get the back of the spoon and just keep going around and flattening it all. Okay, now at this stage, you can either just leave it like that, or you can decorate it, which I'm going to do because I can't help myself. So just before we decorate it, pick it up and drop it. Do it a few times. We need to get all the air bubbles out. And it's a must. Okay, now, hurt your ears enough? Alright. So to decorate, I'm going to use Australian whole blanched almonds. And I've got these multi cherries. I'm going to try and use green ones because I think they'll look really cool. So you can obviously decorate it anyhow you want. I'm just going to cut this off. So I'm going to do flowers. So with the cherries, I'm just going to put the cherries where I want. See if I can get some green ones. It's pretty. Oh, and there's yellow. It's different. Oh, I might do one of each then. Alright, so I reckon I'm going to put. So you want to push it in just a little bit. And see if I can get them without being squashed. That's pretty cute actually. And then I'll put one there. I reckon I'll do 3. And if I can get a big enough red one. Come on, little fella. And I'll do one there. Okay, so I've only pushed them in just under halfway. I hope you can see from there. Oh, that's so cool. Alright, so I've got the 3 different colours. I thought there was only 2. I thought you could only get green or red. Alright, now I'll cut open the almonds for the petals. So I'm a bit slower than usual. Hopefully you work out by now. Whenever you see a fruit cake come up, make sure you've got time to watch it with your cuppa and that when you can kick back, because they're a bit at work. Okay, so now when we get our almonds, we want to get the pointy skinny end to be the middle of the flower, and we want to just push it in a little bit. Alright, and we just go around and do our petals. Oh, look at that. Is that not cool or what? So you can decorate these anyhow you want. Like I said, I'm making a heap of different cakes up, so I'll decorate them all different, but I just thought this was really cool for the light coloured golden one. Alright, I'm going to clean up the bench now. Now this is the time that we preheat our ovens at 150 degrees Celsius. Alrighty my friends, I promise we are almost there. Okay, so now what we need is some newspaper, some scissors and some cotton twine. So this is food grade cotton. I grabbed it from IGA in where you find your cooking utensils from, and it was $3.30. So this is just stuff that you can use in the heat for cooking, alright? So the first thing we want to do, what was that? Oh, it's for that. Alright, first thing we want to do is get one piece of newspaper and fold it up. Piece open out long ways and then fold it into 4. So now we want to wrap it around our tin. Oh, I'll do it this way so you can see I've still got it a little bit too high. Only because I'm worried about the electric oven, the top of it. So see how I've got it just a bit higher than that one? So I'm just going to fold that over a bit more. Alright, now that I've folded that bit again. It's a little bit fiddly, but it's worth it. Alright, this is to protect the top of the cake and the cake itself from the heat, because we're cooking it for so long. Okay, so once we've got that around there, like so, look at that, isn't that awesome? Okay, I'm going to get a piece of that string now and put it around here and tie it to hold this together. Alright baby, we are ready to go. Let's move that down to the light, see if you can see. We're all done and all good. That's killer, mate. Now the best way to tell if your cake is ready, get a knife that's like pointy and skinny and long. Something like this, alright? You want to stab it into it right to the bottom and carefully pull it out. Now if it's all sticky from fruit, that's okay. But if you can see bits of cake mixing with it, put it back in for another 15 minutes and do that every 15 minutes until you're just pulling out sticky stuff and you're not pulling out any cake mix. Oh mate, she's almost ready. Okay, so what we've got to do next is we need to get 2 tablespoons of either rum, so I'm using Bundy of course, or whiskey, brandy or sherry, whatever one you've got. Alright, 2 tablespoons in a bowl, and we need a brush with them and have that ready before we pull our cake out. Oh mate, it smells awesome up in here. Alright, so I argue with myself between 140 and 150 degrees Celsius, and I ended up compromising with myself and I went to 145 degrees Celsius. Alright, so put it in at 145. Look at this. Yummy. And it took exactly 2 hours. Okay. Now we quickly get our rum, brandy, whiskey, whatever we're using, and with a paint brush, whatever brush you want, we want to rub it all over evenly, the whole cake. This is to make it all yummy and moist and Alright, so just get it over the whole thing. Alrighty, once we've completely covered the top, grab yourselves some alcohol. And we want to lightly put it over the top and squish it all on there. So what this does is it makes it steam up inside, and that gives you that beautiful moist top of the cake that doesn't crack and go yucky. Okay, so now we've got it like that, and let that all steam away. Now we're just going to grab it, and on the whole thing, exactly how it is, set it aside somewhere in your kitchen until it goes completely cold, and it takes forever. Alrighty, so after 3 hours last night, it was still too hot, and I just gave up and went to bed and left it there. So it definitely takes a lot longer than 3 hours, which I'm surprised about, for it to cool down. Oh, have a look at that. I'll just get these bits of butter and stuff off. Oh my god, I'm so sick of all these cameras. It's not the cameras, it's a damn light in this house. Oh, I just can't get it to look as good as it looks in my eyes. Oh, now make sure you're cut a little bit off of there now. Taking photos, look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh look, you've got to get excited about that, I'm telling you. Oh my gosh, if I can do it, you can do it. Give it a go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have yourselves an awesome day. I'll be back really soon with another fruit cake. Bye. Oh mate, I got so excited about eating that piece of fruit cake, I forgot all about telling you how to wrap it and store it. So you want to wrap it really, really well in Glad Wrap, and you want to leave it in the fridge, and it will last for at least 3 months. Oi, have an awesome day. Bye.